important
so
villages.
We showed those satellite images. Rishabh, request you to stay on with us because this Chinese strategy relies on stealth and surprise as tools to be used for tactical advantage in the name of border stabilization, poverty alleviation and upliftment of ethnic minority groups. Now, the communist government in China uses these so-called villages as launchpads to carry out cross-border attacks. In fact, experts have also pointed out that one such village was used by China to carry out attacks, like we mentioned, in Tawang on December 9th in 2022. Now, the Communist Party in China has been peddling hate and instigating villagers along the border, injecting them with communist ideology. These villagers are urged to join the military exercise, hoist flags and also sing the national anthem along the international borders. Let me go across to Colonel Denny, a defense expert, as well as Major General A.K. Sivach, really the best voices on this very, very concerning update. It's a Times Now exclusive. Major General Sivach, how concerning are these? Of course, in line with what was largely known of China and its expansionist ways. China has been denying it time and again, but now in pictures we can see the kind of build-up along the borders.
No doubt. You see, this build-up is taking place about for last 3 years, and slowly study from Arunachal Pradesh to you can say Ladakh, they have built up more than about 300 villages, and these villages are bang on the line of actual control or just little bit away, and these are modern villages. These are actually not villages, these are the defended locality. There are roads and tracks which are leading to that, and they will act as a launch pad and as a springboard for any activity where they want to do once the war takes place. So as far as China is concerned, I'd say there are 4 things which they are doing. One is they have already improved their infrastructure in last 50 years, but they are now going in a big way to improve their railway line, as well as their logistic build-up in Tibet Autonomous Region. They are building up certain bridges and also tunnels. And therefore, the point is that if you see from Ladakh to Arunachal Pradesh, their activity has increased in last 2 years to an extent that it seems that the people who were also settled down there, they are also been indoctrinated to communism ideology and anti-India sentiment. So therefore, they are going for something bigger. My point is that as far as China is concerned, you cannot believe them. There is a trust deficit, and after what they have done in May 2020, you cannot rely on them. They are preparing something big in future, and that is what we should know it. We should not think that Yangtze has taken place, so possibly they have built up this village. No, they are possibly building up something bigger in time to come, and that is a challenge to us. Why are they doing so much construction activity? Why they are improving so much infrastructure which they were already having earlier?
Major General, request you to stay on with us. Just want to talk a little more further about China's agenda. To understand this, we need to understand why China keeps a very heavy military presence at the international borders in disputed regions. And China has border issues not just with India, but with all of the nations. Let's give you a detailed account of the kind of disputes that China has with these regions. So it's not just India. Remember, we've been saying time and again, a lot of countries have expressed their concerns over China's expansionist ways. And look at this, in Nepal as well, the encroachment by China has been seen in the Humla district. So this is in Nepal. So China is accused of surveillance in the Lalgzong area. So here, this is the situation in China, from Chinese side in Nepal. Now let's take you to Bhutan, another peaceful nation that is again facing the wrath of China's expansionist ways. Here as well, there is a dispute over 292 miles of the international border. And remember, China has been using it to its advantage. In fact, China also tried to build roads in these areas, which had come as a big concern for Bhutan as well. And like we mentioned, not just these 2 countries, let's show you across Myanmar, in the border, what the situation is like. Here as well, it's the same story. There has been encroachment by China, and this is again in the Shan state. So here as well, encroachment by China, just as we are seeing in India, attempts being made by the Chinese side. The story is no different in Myanmar as well, where the encroachments are being attempted by China time and again. In fact, it is also accused of creating a lot of instigations, people across the border being instigated against the government. government. Now, let's talk about Vietnam. China claims a majority of the South China Sea, and this is a strategically extremely important location. Concerns have been raised even by Australia. So in Vietnam, maritime dispute over the Paracel Islands and the Spratly Islands still going on. Remember, concerns have been coming in through COVID as well. United States, Australia also talking about it. Similarly, in Laos as well, there is a border dispute of 313 miles with China claiming to own large parts of Laos. So again, it is a disputed territory, and yet again it is being claimed by China. Let's get you political reactions as well. More political reactions coming in with the Congress party launching an attack on the government, asking why has the government lied, saying there have been no intrusions when the border police have admitted that they lost petrol points.
See, the police department of Jammu and Kashmir has very clearly said that out of 76 posts, now we are unable to patrol 26 posts. That means they have considered those posts to a foreign power, right? So, who is controlling the administration there? Is the Congress party controlling the administration in Kashmir? No. Then what my question is, satellite images say, the experts come out and say that Chinese have come into our territory. And the Prime Minister said nobody has come. Just to keep up your image of a strong leader, you just want to say, brush off that nobody has come in.
Okay, all right. Colonel Tini, we just pointed out the border disputes not just along India, but various other countries as well. And this, as we've been mentioning, is not really surprising. So China's expansionist ways are well known. We're not, to put the politics in perspective, while there are a lot of questions raised on what the situation is like in the border, the government being questioned time and again by the opposition, we've shown how along several borders among many other countries as well, China has been attempting and in some cases has also been successful in expanding into the territory of the other countries.
Oh, absolutely. There's no doubt that, as a policy, like you showed both the land and the maritime borders, how the issues are there with China, with all nations, most of the nations which it has borders with. And here with in the land border with India and China, the priority of Chinese is actually less. They are more concentrated towards South China Sea, the Taiwan issue and all much more higher in their own priority. So that is the first perspective. Second perspective is this particular report which has come now and which has created a report that 26 patrolling points out of the 65 there is no there's no way that we are patrolling that and all. That's actually this is how a narrative is built. The time when this thing happened in May 2020, China has been trying to give a meaning to what they did. And they have been peddling stories that that India has become closer to US.
Yes.
India has we have.
And there's a lot of denial on ground, but these pictures show the strategy of India. My apologies for interrupting. Thank you for joining us on the broadcast. We're shifting our focus to Rahul Gandhi, who is addressing the media. We'll come back after a quick break. Do stay with us.